27th of March 2018, you're here with Dan in Essex UK, and today we're talking about leggy tomato plants. Now these are variety Gardener's Delight, and Gardener's Delight are an absolute beautiful tomato in my opinion. Lovely red colour when they are ripe, and lovely sweet and tangy taste. I really like them indeed. So you get like that, and some of them aren't much bigger than a large grape, but the taste is phenomenal in my opinion. But as you can see here, these have gone leggy. They've gone leggy because I've had them in these windowsill propagators, probably set them about 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. And of course with the propagator along the top there, that's increased the heat, and they've been on the windowsill inside, and thus this is the result. So what I'm going to do is show you a few methods that I employ in order to make sure that the legginess is lost, because there are certain things in life that are good when they are leggy, but tomato plants are not. So let's go. So I'm just going to tip the camera down here, and I'll show you a few things that I got going on. So excusez-moi. Now here, as you can see, I have some pots. Now these have been acquired really. You know, generally a lot of people like to get rid of pots, and although pots in general aren't too expensive really in the big scheme of things, you can often get rid of them and you can reuse them from year to year. Cleaning them off is best as well to not spread disease, etc., things like that. And just one thing you really want to be careful of is make sure there's this invasive plant called ground elder. Now if you're getting plants from anybody else, make sure there's no ground elder present if you can, unless of course you want to cultivate ground elder. But if you've got flower beds or a vegetable patch, it's likely that you don't want to cultivate ground elder. But we'll talk more about that in another video. So what I'm going to do is get my growing medium. So you can see what I've got here. I like to call this my concoction, if you will, but I like to have, I like to have it already in the polytunnel. So down there, that is vegetable compost. That there is garden soil. That there is multi-purpose compost, and behind where my finger is pointing now, that is wood ash. So wood ash, vegetable compost, garden soil, and multi-purpose compost. So I like to have them already in the big containers here, simply because if I do that, then I can, I can work more efficiently. And of course when you're very busy, it's nice to have everything organised and worked out so you can just work from it. So let's show you what we're going to do. So what about my camera work, eh? Isn't this nifty? Look at that. I'm really getting used to this. Excuse me, just got to clear my throat out. Really got to get used to this new camera stuff, but I'm actually very much enjoying it. Look at that, look, plants over there. I've even got a tripod. Aren't I getting techie? So here is what we're going to do. Today we are going to take basic multi-purpose compost. Now I could use the vegetable compost for this, but I'm not. I'm going to use the multi-purpose compost simply because it's cheaper. Let's make sure that my camera is pointing where I want it. Oh, cool, I'm getting professional, aren't I? Eee. Right, so I'm going to proceed to put a little bit of the compost in here. Now you want to get as deep pots as, as practicably possible. Is that the correct word? Like that, look. And I'm going to get one of my leggy tomato plants out. And let's have a look at that. Oh, let's get the leggiest one, shall we? Cool, I'm just looking through this screen at the back. Focused, eh? It's even blurring the bits and bobs in the background so you can see the stuff in the foreground better. Right, so what we're going to do is just get one out. So let's have a look at the sheer legginess of it. Cool, look at that. Now, not really too much of a developed root ball, so I want to encourage that. So you get the idea. Now, what I'm going to do is put a little bit more compost in the bottom, and I'll show you what I've got here. Look, there we go. Now, this is the trick. What you do is you bury, not totally to the bottom, but you bury the stalk like that. And what you proceed to do then is put your compost in. Firm it down. Now what will happen is the bits of the plant that are under the compost will then proceed to root. Hi. Right, now doesn't that look beautiful? Doesn't that look 10 times better than that leggy tomato plant that I had? Shall we do another one? You guys are going to start calling me James Cameron if I carry on with all this camera work, aren't you? Right, let's get another pot. There we go. You really can hear that rain. Not working this morning because I had someone's garden to do a bit of weeding in, but it's not going to happen today because you can hear, you know, if I go and walk on their flower beds and all that, I'm going to get stuck to my boots and it's going to not be good for their garden. So you get the idea. But yeah, so you're going to get a bit more compost here. Look, put it in this pot here, clumps like that. I don't like to use clumps too much, break them up. Let's do another one. What we got here? Right, a bit more developed root structure on this one. But what I'm going to do with this baby is the same. So you get the idea. My mother taught me this. I'm not sure. Somebody taught me this a few years ago. And in my experience it works. It's a very good way to control leggy tomatoes because a lot of people, they avoid growing tomato plants for this reason and they buy the plants. And of course that is a method, but you know, if you've grown a load of plants and the seeds are relatively cheap to be honest, and this happens, then you know, you may want to consider this little trick. So yeah, there you go, there's another one. And I'm going to put that with the other one. I'm going to finish off and do these other lots. But as you know, I'm growing a lot of tomatoes this year. I've probably got, don't know, probably close to about 80 plants in total. I've grown tumbling toms. I've grown Gardener's Delight, as you know, I've just told you that. And I'm growing Moneymaker. So yeah, 3 different varieties, and I'm hoping that and they're going to do well, so I want my plants to do well. So there you go, that is a method you can employ in order to stop your tomato plants going leggy, or indeed to rescue them from the legginess issue. So as always, please like, share and subscribe. Take care, see you soon. Now I'll just turn this off. Come here.